Hello and welcome to Storm Talk Arena. This is a new series that's going to be tacked onto the Storm Talk videos that I do with the Champion Spotlight similar themes. In this one, I will be talking about the arenas. As you can see, there are 7 arenas on the screen. The 8th arena should be dropping next week. It will be the Eternal Conflict Heaven and Hell map. Of course, I will do that arena as soon as it drops as well. Anyway, just for ease sake, since we're already here, let's go ahead and start with the Tomb of the Spider Queen. I realize there are other people who've kind of done the whole, let's talk about the different battlegrounds and address them, but I figured that I should probably start off with it too.
Victory for the Forsaken!
For the simple fact that it's a interesting difference with this game compared to every other MOBA in the genre. Is just plain and simple. This one has multiple maps and none of the other ones do. And the ones that do have multiple maps, like League of Legends and Smite, for the most part, the different maps are basically the exact same as every. Like, oh yeah, the 3v3 map? It's the same as the 5v5 map. It's just different size for different amounts of players.
The battle begins shortly.
Okay, so to start with this, let's just look at this motif. As you can see, spiders everywhere. Of course, Tomb of the Spider Queen. But there's also treasure all over the place. As well as treasure, you see these rivers on the bottom. These rivers of souls, top as well. And let's go ahead and let's head top first. You have these fountains that are kind of have soul steam, I guess, if that's the River of Souls. Like, all in all, this map kind of reminds me a little bit of The Nightmare Before Christmas, with all the souls everywhere and the ghost steam, but also a little bit of the Cave of Wonders from Aladdin. Hit me up if you agree. I mean, seriously, it's a very Cave of Wonderies, treasure laying all over the place feel.
Bring the gems of
Okay,
to my altar.
so the primary aspect of this map, let's go ahead and work my way towards them, are these special enemies. The ranged enemies have been replaced. Instead of the standard archer, you have these robotic spiders, or spider automatons, or however they say them. These spiders drop crystals. Now, as you can see, but my side drops orange crystals, their side's dropping blue crystals. I'm the blue team, so I pick up the blue crystals, they're the orange team. If they had a hero, they would be picking up the orange crystals. And as I pick up crystals, I go here and turn them in at either of these spider egg cocoon things. And once I reach 50, something happens. The number goes up by 5 every time you pick one up. Also, a neat little thing that I'm probably never going to, that you're probably never going to see. If you look up here, my hero level is unopposed due to the fact that there are no enemy heroes. Okay, so let's go ahead and start talking about the map a little. So, as you can see, I'm going to talk mostly about my side due to the fact that their side is mirrored exactly, but their side also shoots at me. So, up here, you have small little cubby holes. This cubby hole, however, showing you on the enemy side real quick, will get you shot at if you try to go into. It is within range. The reason I'm making sure to state that is because the bottom cubby hole actually is not within tower range. And we'll talk about that in a second when we get down there. Why did I'm an idiot. Why did I press that?
The moment is
this cubby hole does have very limited sight. As you can see, if you get into here, it's a little hard to tell from mine, so I'll show you from theirs. Luckily, this character has a jump, so isn't exactly the hardest thing. As you can see from here, a character would be very hidden here. A character such as Abathur or Murky could put their egg in there
Test
and
my patience.
reasonably suspect it to be safe. Of course, if you put it on the enemy side, it's really risky. And if you do, you want to line up, make sure that the light, because as you can see the line of sight through these shadows and whatnot.
Of course.
But if you're going to put it on your side, it will probably be safer if you put it on the enemy side. Risks are you're putting it on the enemy side. However, that is a very good place to hide things. But if the enemy knows that you have a Murky or an Abathur on their team, they will probably check there on occasion.
Of course.
A little deeper into the base, you have this little cubbyhole as well. This one has a steam vent for hiding. Virtually the same thing. A Murky egg here or something is a not uncommon place to put it on your side or to place it on the enemy side.
Listening. Choose a talent.
Let's just pick up some gems real quick.
Give the order.
The reason I'm picking up the gems is plain and simple because I am going to show you the spiders. And as a single person, it can take a while to pick up all 50.
Do not test my patience.
But as you can see, I'm almost halfway there. Now, let's go into the between top and mid lane. As you can see, there is a door. This is very unique on this level. I believe this is the only level that actually has just a door randomly sitting here. The door has roughly the same amount of health as every other gate in the game. And for the most part, there is no tower that will attack you while you're doing this door. So this could be a great place to set up an Abathur. When I play Abathur, of course, later on in levels, when I have the ability to actually survive it a little bit more, jumping over here and letting my my Locust just take out this gate so that they have free access isn't a bad idea. However, it is usually just to bait out the enemy into coming after me instead of sticking to whatever they're doing.
The moment is upon us.
Okay.
Done.
Now we'll talk about mid lane. Mid lane's pretty simple. The majority of mid lane is basic. You do have an access gate here that leads you directly to the Bruiser camp. Abnormal, but not unheard of. Up top, you do have this gate that breaks into your base. However, the lane itself is basic. The top of your lane, you do have this steam vent, which prevents vision, but if you step into it, you can see the entirety of the upper chrysalis.
Of course.
With the bottom one, there is a wall here, so you have a little bit more trouble looking into it. That and the walls on the sides of it means that you can't just kind of take a step into the steam and just see everything. So you'd actually have to step in to get a visual. However, if you have a character such as Zagara, placing her tumors could be extremely useful to get vision. A single tumor in here and a tumor in here. One will help you see if somebody is trying to attack you, while at the same time helping you see if an enemy is trying to turn in. between middle and bot lane, there's just that simple. There is the bruiser camp. You have the mid lane entrance to it, and a bot lane entrance directly into the bruiser camp. And closer to the bot lane fort, you have the another jungle entrance. Pretty standard stuff for the most part. Now, if we start working into bot lane, actually just grab these real quick. And we'll take the unstable poison. It will help us collect gems. Actually, we have enough gems now. That's
my
great.
will is my
as you
own.
can see, down here you have the siege golems. This is the only siege camp in the map. You can sneak under the enemy base. However, as you can see, there isn't much you can do. If you try to sneak past, unless you're invisible, you will get caught by the fort itself. But for the most part, you can kind of walk through there without having to worry too much about without having to worry too much about the towers. If you get a little bit sloppy and get too close to them, you will get hit. But as time passes, that becomes less and less of an issue. Very similar to in mid lane, there's a wall here, so although you can hide in this fountain or in this steam, you can't really peek. However, just a step up and you can see everything. Down here, there's another steam and then a wall, and then into an open steam which leads to this siege camp. Very similar to the top lane with the opening. However, the one right behind the fort does not have a steam vent on bottom. But it does have this wall, which does reduce the amount of line of sight that it is capable of giving. All in all, if you have somebody who's going to be hiding, like a Murky or something, the enemy's going to be able to see it and will probably know to look for it.
I'm here.
Just simple fact, when you have somebody who benefits from hiding, the enemy keeps an eye out for things that are hiding.
That is enough. You will be
Now to talk about the spiders. As you can see from the bottom, they have the spiders' health. They charge with that. You can actually see a nice little charging image as they do. And then, when they come up, they have a quick move to the point in the lane that has the first enemy in it. That includes both minions and, heroes. A hero can actually mess you up pretty hardcore if they sneak behind your lane and then trigger the spider. Because as you can see, the spider loses health as it goes on. Without taking any damage, the spider will just lose health. One of the reasons why I picked Sylvanas is Sylvanas is extremely powerful for pushing. Especially if you can get somebody next to her to just kind of do the legwork for you.
My will is my own.
As you can see, the spider, the web weavers also summon these web warriors. Who, just plain and simple, are extremely strong. As you can see, these lanes, they were capable, or the web weavers were capable of going straight through the forts. And with help, or with my help, they were capable of going into the keep. Of course, that would be changed, and results may vary, blah blah blah. But
Done.
as you can see, after that wave, I was able to pick up 30 gems. I think I had about 10 before it started, So let's just kind of rough it out and say I picked up roughly about 15 gems during the push. Well, 3 lanes picking up 15 gems is 45. All they have to do is get 55 to reactivate them. So as you can see, getting it once is an extremely powerful boon onto your pushing economy. The more powerful the more you get them, the more powerful your pushing power, and the more likely you are to get another set. Now, this doesn't guarantee that you'll get them, but in my experience, the team who gets the first Web Weaver often gets the second Web Weaver, and often wins. However, that third Web Weaver, if gotten, can be the difference between games. I probably should have taken the Welling Arrow ult, just because it would have made this a little bit easier, but hey.
Fine.
So, I'm going to show off a couple of the camps, if I can, best as I can anyway. Luckily, Sylvanas' jungling power, virtually unmatched. Mostly due to her ability to just tell them she doesn't want them to hit her. Now, for the most part, the siege camp, very basic. Siege camps do what siege camps do. They have their giant club for smacking people in the face, and they throw rocks at you. There's really no, like, displaying them for their unique look is cool, but outside of that, they are virtually siege camps. I mean, if you've seen one, you've seen them all. Type of situation.
You're mine.
Now, we'll go ahead and move up. As you can see, these are the... Ooh, accidentally shot him. These are the bruiser camps. This is basically a modified night camp. They have a mummy theme. I'm not sure if I can take them at this level by myself, but we'll see.
I'm here.
Ah, that is bad. Okay, now let's try this without unleashing them every single time.
I'm here.
That actually worked out a little bit better than I thought it would.
Give the order.
So, as you can see, night camps are night camp. I'm going to go ahead and B to get up some health so I can kind of show you a little bit of the siege camp. Or the siege camp, the tank camp, or boss camp. Man, getting flustered from my words. But as you can see, the night camp, pretty simple. One of them's magic based, one of the other 3 have swords. Now, with this one, if I remember right, the mage doesn't actually
The
heal.
moment is upon us.
I could be wrong there. I believe that this mage doesn't heal. His channeled ability, as you kind of saw, is like a rapid fire, continuous shot.
My will is my
And
own.
I'm not going to be able to beat this guy, but just to kind of demonstrate what this guy does, he has an extremely strong punch. He has an AoE slam. And I was expecting him... He also has a tornado ability. I was kind of expecting him to use it. A little bit disappointed he didn't. But plain and simple, this is the second boss that we've seen. He's also displayed in the desert level, or the desert map, which I believe will be my next video. He is the other boss that he is. I don't want to say replacing, but he's an alternative to. Is the Grave Golem, who is seen on many maps, of course, including the Grave Golem map.
Listen and obey.
Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and end this right here.
Of course.
Pick up the spiders.
Choose a
I don't have enough, do I? I think I'm one off. Or two off. Yeah.
Do not test my
Like, I'm
patience.
still kind of dumb for doing that. I should have waited. Because I can easily get 2 gems.
You have done as
Do not
promised.
test my patience.
Okay, and now that they're coming, just to demonstrate, as you can see, again, the web weavers are charging. I'll go back here and look. The web weavers just start at the base and they just shoot off.
No mercy.
As I was saying earlier, as you can
Do not
see,
test my
while the web weavers are moving, they are, like when they're doing this fast travel thing, they do not take damage from living, so they're capable of moving across the map without taking damage, whereas if they get triggered closer to your base, you could end up in a situation where they are basically dead by the time they get somewhere. And just to finish, the Nexus is an Anubian holding a spirit thing, becomes a coin and just starts pooping out tons of gold coins. This was the spider map, the Tomb of the Spider Queen. I hope this was informative to anybody who's wanting to better perform on the Tomb of the Spider Queen, and have fun.